guys, and welcome back to the ViceCityGamerz podcast. There's a couple of guys from the Miami area coming together to talk everything gaming, and we are now approaching 2024. By the time you guys see this, it might be the 1st or the 2nd of January, probably. But we figured we'd squeeze in one more episode in here, top off the year and strong. We got a couple of topics, things that are going on, quite interesting. The Nintendo Switch seems to have, I don't want to say been hacked, but there's some kind of update on a device that you may be able to purchase soon to be able to play games off of an SD card, something that we haven't seen before on the Switch, but we'll get a little bit more into that, and some interesting sales numbers that have leaked out as part of the Sony PlayStation leak, and do a nice little comparison with the Overlord Nintendo and their sales. So, as usual, we are joined here by my boys, Chris and BJ. What's going on, guys?
What's going on? What's going on?
Nothing much.
Doing good,
Hey,
man.
Chris, right now, tell everybody what you're playing, bro.
Oh boy. So Wifey Claus was amazing this year. I'm gonna show you. Just to the wife got me the PS5. So
Yes.
right now I'm hooked on Gran Turismo 7. It's like I like Forza Motorsport. I love it. One of my favorite racing games. But man, when I tell you that the Forza 7 brought me back to like childhood memories of playing Forza 1, which was one of my favorite games ever. Man, I'm addicted to it right now. I can't stop playing it. I don't know what I'm gonna do if I'm gonna keep playing this. I probably won't be playing any games for a while except for this because I'm really into it right now. I'm loving the PS5. Like I said, I'm enjoying it. I played a little bit of Spider-Man 2 and a little bit of God of War, but I was told to cut it out by my buddies here. They told me I'm doing a disservice to myself if I don't play Spider-Man 1 and which will be the fourth God of War for PS4. So I'm gonna go back to do that. But man, I'm hooked right now on doggone for Gran Turismo, not Forza. Almost messed up. On Gran Turismo, loving it, loving the objectives, loving everything about it. It's amazing.
I think Phil Spencer just banned you right now from Game Pass for saying that.
Listen, man, I told you I'm always gonna give you a non-biased opinion about the games that I like, and much as I love Forza, man, right now Gran Turismo is blowing out of the water for me.
Phil's
it's ruining me.
Definitely not gonna join us on ViceCityGamerz. That's for sure.
Probably not. But you know what? He'll understand. He's for the gamers first, so he'll understand that. We always say that our opinions will always be non-biased, and I'll give you a non-biased opinion.
So list out the games that you've played so far.
So far,
it's been one day. It's like 19 games. No, I'm just playing.
This guy's crazy, though.
Well, I've been playing with my son. So my son wanted to play Spider-Man 2, so we played a little bit of Spider-Man 2. I got God of War yesterday, so I played just like maybe 10 minutes of it. My son's been playing the heck out of Lego 2K Racing because he loves crashing into things, which gives me anxiety because I'm very objective-based player. Like I like to get my objectives done and get going. He's all over the place, reversing when he should be going forward, crashing into things when he's not supposed to be crashing into things. So, but my main game that I've been playing is Gran Turismo 7, and I'm loving it, man. Like I said, I can't say enough good things about it.
I wish everybody can see our chat for a little bit on the phone there, because this guy comes out with every 20 minutes. Hey, you guys ever played this? This is good. I'm thinking about downloading this. We should play this. I'm like, damn, bro, we can't keep up, dog. I'm stuck on one game for 3 months, and you're over here 19 games in one day. Like Jason,
I got video game ADD, man. I'm all over the place.
Bro, I wish I could be more like you. Like when I start something, I have to finish it. Like it bothers me. I had to complete everything. I had to walk every inch of the game. It's crazy.
Today I downloaded Horizon and I downloaded Uncharted, the bundle pack they have on the premium on the what's it, Sony Plus, whatever it's called, PlayStation Plus game Pass kind of thing they have for themselves. I downloaded a couple more games, so let's see, man. But I'm gonna start with God of War, I think, from the PS4.
I'm
You will
glad
not
you're
And
regret
then
it.
move on to Spider-Man. Yeah,
I'm
man,
very happy
100%,
that you
man.
got
The
a
wife, like I said,
PlayStation.
spoiled me. Yeah, you're happy. I was ecstatic, man. I was like, "Ooh." It was awesome.
Yeah, yeah, that genuine kid excitement. So, all right, let's move into one of our topics. And before we do, let's remind you to like this video, give us a sub if you're new here. You'll help us support us, and it won't cost you a thing. So, a new device has come up. It's kind of blowing up today. There is a device called the Mig Switch or MIG Switch. I don't know how they're pronouncing it, but basically, if you know anything about a lot of the cartridge-based games, Nintendo, NES, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, N64, all of these right now have these cartridges that you can purchase that have a little SD card that goes right into the top or the side or whatever the case, and you can load in all your games that you obtained totally legally, and then you could play all these games right off of those cartridges. Now, the Switch's history is a little bit it's a little bit turbulent, right? In the beginning, when the Switch came out, the first 25 million consoles were hackable using a paperclip. So you heard that right. Look it up on the interwebs. So basically, you were able to hack it, mod it, and do whatever you want with it. Play homebrew games. Actually, change your background, which up until now Nintendo still hasn't allowed us to do. Make folders for your game. Simple things that you'd expect, but you don't get because Nintendo. And then obviously loading in games that you might have gotten from certain places. Now, after those 25 million, obviously Nintendo went in and fixed this up so that they wouldn't have this problem anymore. Now, people have always found ways around it, right? Right now, if you want to hack your current day Switch, you have to open it and solder a mod chip, and then you have to do a bunch of software stuff. It's a hassle. The average person will not do it. It's very tedious, right? But now it seems like there is a Switch cartridge that has come out with a little slot for an SD card on the side. And it seems like the way it works is you drop it inside, and whenever you push it down, it'll cycle through different games that you have saved on there. So there's probably going to be some software that goes with this, but it's an interesting way that you're going to be able to, if you're looking at it from a good guy perspective, you can preserve your Nintendo Switch's card slot, right? We don't know if how good that slot was made when they made the Switch, right? Maybe it only has a certain amount of times you can put a game in and out. And then you also have your games that if you look at the back of the little Switch cartridges, there are these little thin black lines, they're like rails, so that the game goes in straight. There's many times that those things have broken, and then now you have a chance that the game is completely screwed, it's not going to work. But if you were to dump your games, which, look that up, it's a whole another process on its own, you can potentially take all the games that you own physically and put them on one of these SD cards so that you don't wear out your Switch and wear out your games, and then you can play them all right there. The benefits of if you were to download it digitally. What's interesting about this is the timing, right? I don't believe in coincidences. So the rumor was that in January they were going to announce the Super Nintendo Switch or whatever they're going to call it. Hopefully they call it that. And they were going to announce this thing, and it was going to come out sometime later on in the year, maybe during the holiday season to compete with the PS5 Pro. We don't know. But now this device comes out and it's set to ship sometime in January. So, if you don't know, Nintendo has the Nintendo Ninjas, right? They are their super secret lawyers / private investigators that go out there and they'll knock on your door from the other side of the world, and they know when you're stealing their stuff. So these guys, or this company, apparently has maybe cranked out all the copies that they want to sell, and they're getting ready to put them out there. And the timing of this is kind of interesting because it's giving Nintendo very little time to react, right? If this would have leaked out before, Nintendo might have gotten to them before they were able to do this. But now they're in a situation. This person, whoever it is that has created this, also chose a time that's probably the best time, because now that Nintendo is looking towards their next generation console, there's kind of less to lose with people starting to hack their now previous generation console. So it kind of makes sense that this person waited until this last moment to send it out there. So interesting stuff, man. What do you guys think about this?
Man, I think I don't know how long this is gonna last because Nintendo doesn't take too kindly to people stealing their software or whatever it is, their games, and putting them, on like, for example, on a hacked device like this is going to be, it'll be cool. Yeah, they don't like that kind of stuff. So, I mean, if you get any emulator from any online store, you know that the main games don't come with it. Like, say, Super Mario Brothers, Mega Man, and stuff like that do not come in those systems because of repercussions that Nintendo will put on its people, like cease and desist orders and stuff like that. And so I don't know. Let's see. I mean, it sounds pretty cool. I mean, the only thing I see here that it won't play ROMs, except like ROMs that you could download from a computer to it. They were saying that ROMs would not be one of those things that are supported by this Mig unit thing. But it sounds cool. Let's see how long it lasts. Let's see, before Nintendo puts their foot in somebody's neck. Let's see how long that will last.
So this sucks for Nintendo, but this is great for us. Let me elaborate. It was rumored that the Super Switch was going to be revealed January. They canceled a showcase or whatever, a direct that they were going to do, because they were having threats made online, whatever. It's just like you said, the timing is pretty crazy with this stuff. I almost feel like it was meant to be. So I think that this whole thing is just going to speed up production. They're going to release the Super Switch quicker than we anticipated. I don't think it's going to be a holiday 2024. I think it's going to be more of like a late spring, summer, around that E3 time for 2024. Especially since we got news that the PS5 Pro is dropping later this year or later 2024. I believe that's the rumor. And what better way to eat into Nintendo's profit than to come out with a new system? A PlayStation system at that. You know what I'm saying? So I think to maximize their sales, I think we're going to get a Switch. All that's ringing in my ear when you were talking was Rick James. She's a super freak. With Super Switch, baby. Let's go. It's super freaky.
Super switchy.
We're gonna find out soon, man. We're gonna find out soon. I feel like it's coming. Even maybe they push it back a month or something like that. But I feel like the announcement is coming close. And you know what? And maybe it is a race, like you mentioned. Maybe they want to beat that PS5 Pro to the punch. And I think it's gonna be another handheld system, because I think they've figured out what really works. And the future is handheld, right? You have the ROG Ally, you have the Steam Deck, and they're blowing up, man. They're blowing up.
Right?
Out of control right now.
Yes, sir. Lenovo jumping in the ring too.
Lenovo, that's what I meant to say. Not Asus, Lenovo.
I want to see like a GBA come back.
GBA? Game Boy Advanced?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Let's get a new iteration.
Super Nintendo
Aside from the
Advance.
Switch. They link together.
Yeah, man. This is I find this whole stuff really, really exciting. I'm into modding my consoles. I have an old PlayStation 1 that has a mod chip, and we got some history with that mod chip. My cousin and I were younger, and he's very confident, so he was like, yeah, I can install the mod chip. And for whoever doesn't know, a mod chip on older consoles like that is basically a little chip with like about 6 different cables, and those cables basically tell the PlayStation this copied disc that we're putting inside is an actual game disc. So don't worry, nothing to see here, and it didn't end well. The PlayStation caught on fire. So shout out to my shout out to my cousin Caesar for burning the PlayStation. I think it was mine.
He played a prank on you. You turn it on and all you hear is moaning from the chip. And then flames.
Well, mine almost caught on fire too, my first PlayStation, but it wasn't because any modding. My little brother, I was playing it, and he removed the back plug switch from the system itself, and it arced out and started smoking.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man.
It's because this PlayStation's just got so much power, It's just...
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of this competition, this upcoming competition between PlayStation and Sony, hey, you're hearing it here first, man.
I thought you were talking about the VGA competition. I thought somebody already won that.
No, we don't. I don't even remember what you're talking about, bro. You better be careful. Next year, we're gonna be gunning for you. I want this one to win, but yeah, we're gonna get our points in.
One day, guessing Baldur's Gate. That's the only reason he won. Baldur's Gate. That's it.
I'll get out of here.
And look at the shit that he comes up with, man. Yo, stay humble.
That's what you get
for the audience, bro. Stay humble.
That's what you get for voting with your heart instead of with your brain, buddy.
I was using my brain already.
This man went off the rails. All right. Well, speaking of this competition between Nintendo and Sony, part of the leak that Sony had recently was some of their sales. So I'm going to switch over here. So it's not often that you get the full numbers of sales, right? We have physical sales, we have digital sales, and then we have the companies that sometimes they just don't want to say how much money they're making. They don't want to let you know how successful a game is. They just kind of want to leave it up in the air. But some of the information that we had leak out shows some pretty interesting numbers. Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man, the first one on the PlayStation 4 at the time, sold 20 million units. Pretty impressive numbers, not very surprising, judging by the popularity of that game. So then when Spider-Man Miles Morales came out, coupled together with the remastered and Miles Morales together, you're talking about, and this is one that was on PS4 and PS5 together, you're talking about 33 million in sales. Pretty crazy numbers. So as you move a little bit further down, something that came as a little bit of a surprise was Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn was up at around 24 million in sales. And what I thought was really interesting about that one is I feel like people don't talk about Horizon Zero Dawn enough. It came out during a tough time. It was competing directly with Zelda Breath of the Wild. Huge, highly anticipated game coming out for the Nintendo Switch. It came out on the Wii U, but not many people had the Wii U. So when it came out on the Switch, it was a handheld version to play this open world Zelda game. It was huge. But later on down the line, Horizon got the attention it deserved, and the game just completely blew up, which led to the next one that they made, Forbidden West. So Last of Us, 9 million in sales. I'm surprised. Okay, when you couple it with the remastered, yeah, it looks like we're at about 30 million with that one. Last of Us Part 2 looks like around 14 million or so. Ghost of Tsushima coming up close to 9 million. Oh, wait, no, let's put it together here. It looks like 13, closer to 15 14. Million. Yeah, man. God of War Ragnarok. 15 million in just 1 year. That game is celebrating its first birthday around this time. God of War 2018, 23 million. Horizon Zero Dawn.
I remember it competed with Zelda, like you said, but then there was a big talk when the second one came out because it competed with Elden Ring. And they released it at the same time. And everybody is saying that those games get cannibalized by these bigger known games that come out at the same time. So for Horizon to sell like that, that's pretty amazing. Breath of the Wild was huge, man.
Yeah. Humongous game.
Damn. Crazy.
Well, against all odds, it popped back up.
Yeah, right? When does that happen? I feel like that's rare.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing the numbers for Days Gone, but Days Gone is another one that didn't do that well in the beginning. But I guess as people burned through their higher end games and eventually got over to Days Gone, which another, classic third person story type game, but you got zombies in the mix, motorcycle, post-apocalyptic kind of traversal thing. And that one did so well that people were kind of asking for a sequel. But the original studio that put it together for Sony was a little upset. I think they were quoted saying, if you really liked it that much, you should have bought it in the beginning when it was new, which is kind of shitty to say. But hopefully we see a sequel to Days Gone, because that was a pretty great game as well.
I think that was riding The Walking Dead.
Yeah, the
why
whole
it
phenomenon
got so
thing.
bigger after that, because The Walking Dead ended up whatever season they were on at the time. Everybody had an itch for zombies.
Pretty cool stuff, man. Pretty cool stuff. They had the fast-moving zombies where you had to just kind of like mow them down, and something a little bit more like the World War Z, where you had the zombies were a little bit more of a threat. They were faster moving, huge mobs of them.
Just goes to show you, like, they made a genuine story with a female protagonist, right? That from the outside looking in doesn't have anything to do with politics. They got a great environment. Takes place in the future, if I'm not mistaken. But it has like robot dinosaurs, which is like a throwback, and they're very primal in their sense. Like the technology is not there like we have now, but it's more advanced at the same time. I don't know. It's such a dope ass theme. And look, it sold very well. But then
Right.
you look at something that, what is it, Forspoken? That they tried to throw a lot of identity politics in.
Right.
And look at what happened with that. It's a huge flop. When you make genuine, authentic products, like what Horizon seems to be, man, they got something there. I don't think Horizon's gonna stop anytime soon. I missed it. I didn't have PlayStation at the time, and it's definitely on my backlog, both of those games. But it really looks like to me, it looks like the most beautiful PlayStation game that's ever been. Which is really
that one
dope
caught
to hear
me.
it succeeded.
Yeah, that one caught me off guard, man. It was one of those that I thought it looked cool. I picked it up when it was on sale, popped it in, and I started playing it. I'm like, I got really, really sucked in, man. And there's a sci-fi element to the whole thing. I'm definitely not going to spoil that story for anybody. But when the story started unfolding, man, that was huge for me. I mean, the environment, like you mentioned, is amazing. The idea of what you have to do to kind of open up areas of the map is really cool too. And it's funny because, you're playing as a character that may not exactly know what's going on, but you're seeing little things throughout the map that kind of hint to you, the player, what may have happened. So it's cool to kind of look at it through these innocent eyes that don't know what's going on, and you're like, dude, you don't even know what you're seeing, what you're looking at. It's incredible stuff. And as you get towards the end, it really amps up and cranks up. And when you finally get to the explanation of what happened, a genuinely mind-blowing experience to kind of to go through that. So I haven't played the second one yet. I know that the graphics are on another level. I've seen some gameplay of it and heard that it just looks out of control. And that one opens things up even further, from what I've read without going into spoilers again. It was spoiled for me, unfortunately, but I'm not doing that to you guys. But yeah, there's a bunch of good ones
Oh
on there,
man.
man. And that one's right up there with God of War, believe it or not. For being a non-known or an unknown game that just seemed to have come out of nowhere, I would put it right
Yeah.
up there with God of War. And like you mentioned, it doesn't get all political. It's about this one female character, and she's a freaking badass. And that's all it is. And you go forward and you play.
So what you're
It's
saying, this is
incredible.
another game that I gotta play Zero Dawn before I pay Forbidden then.
Play it in order, bro.
Because I have
Chronological
the second
order
one,
is the way
Forbidden.
you should be playing these games, bro.
Please,
Not play number
please.
2 first.
I'm a whole generation behind now.
But
Yeah, you and me
there's,
both, man.
you know what? The way I look at it is, and I'm yeah, I'm kind of like into the whole retro gaming thing, right? So the way I look at it is, man, like I may not always be playing the brand new games that come out, but I'm always going to be enjoying myself with some awesome games. So
Yeah.
you got a lot of good stuff to go through. Don't
Oh my
rush it,
god.
man.
Jeez. I got like
Don't
6
put
games
the
already.
don't put the cart ahead of the horses, like they say, right?
Horizon, as gorgeous as that thing looks, this is the Zelda game that I've been dying for. Imagine Link in a setting like that with those type of graphics, man. That's what I feel that Nintendo could be catering to a wider audience if they gave us something that high of that fidelity, right? You can also have the kid games, but give us a fucking an adult version
Right.
of Zelda, that world.
Zelda. Right. Yeah.
That's an
Yeah.
extremely good
That's right.
comparison because that's accurate. That's on point. If you had a modern day Zelda, in modern graphics, that would be it. That's
I will
an
play it.
extremely
Yeah.
good point. I never thought of that.
I
Bro,
will play it
imagine
for
if
sure. Because
Tears of
that's
the
what.
Kingdom had that type of graphics. I don't think Baldur's Gate stands a chance, man. To be honest.
Probably not.
100%.
Probably not. That's probably why I didn't play the other Zelda games because I don't like that old school. Like, well, I can say I don't like it, but I want something more
But you
modern.
like this?
I love that game. That's Final Fantasy VII. One of that's my one of my favorites. But that's
I
the
think you're
generation.
biased right now, bro.
No. But that was like I played it when it first came out on PlayStation years ago, and this is what 1998, 1997, right? When it first came
Yeah,
out,
this is how
right?
this is how we played
1997.
Ocarina of Time, bro.
Yeah, but I
Pretty
never.
much.
Yeah, I was playing PlayStation back in those days. I told you I picked up Nintendo for years. I've been
We're
off
looking at it
Nintendo.
through the nostalgia glasses is what it
Right.
is. To us, having played that game when it came out, it's still, because when we played games as kids, your imagination comes into play a bit. Because when I went back to Ocarina of Time, I was like, damn it, like everything's so boxy and is everything so limited. It was an open world, but like kind of not much of an
Mm-hmm.
open world. So, but at the time, it was mind blowing. So for us, man, we look at that back there and it's excitement. You start thinking of all the memories and all the tough times and all the exciting things that happened in the game and maybe the things that was going on in your life during that time. So, hopefully you have a good time with it.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
you're gonna love it, man.
Oh, dude.
You're gonna love it, BJ. It's so much fun.
$6 on Xbox.
Yeah, man. So talk
pussy.
kind of on the tail of these PlayStation numbers. I know you guys weren't exactly fans of PlayStation at some point. I know because after all these years of getting beaten down. So sorry. But let's look at some Mario numbers. Let's look at some Nintendo numbers. It could be more if they're not reporting their digital games. It could be more than these. But Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They've been selling you this game for almost 10 years. 57 million they've sold. Animal Crossing is number 2 at 43 million. So these PlayStation numbers pale in comparison to these Nintendo numbers. Super Smash Bros. 32 million. Look at Animal Crossing blowing out Super Mario Smash Bros. By 11 million sold.
That's
And
crazy.
you got Legends of Zelda. Yeah, Legends of Zelda Breath of the Wild, 31 million. Super Mario Odyssey finally coming in, 27 million. And then you got a few Pokemon games, 26, 23 million. You got Super Mario Party. I think that's the not great one for 19 million. And then Tears of the Kingdom, still doing big numbers, having been a somewhat new game that just came out this year, at already getting close to 20 million. So in the lifespan of that one, it may start climbing up here in the list.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Nintendo, just if they make it, people buy it, and that's it.
Yeah.
So they're always gonna blow out Sony. They're always gonna blow out Xbox. They're always gonna be, and that's why they don't have to conform. They don't have to do anything for people. They don't put a background on the Switch. You just have white or dark.
Yeah.
They don't have to put folders for you. You're gonna scroll through all your games and you're gonna like it. They don't lower their prices.
They don't lower their
right.
prices. Yeah.
7 years later, full price for a game. So yeah, man, they don't care because they know people are gonna buy it. People buy it. Why would they?
Yeah. Well, look at Mario RPG. Mario RPG should be like a $39, $49 game. It's $59. Right?
Yeah.
And people still buying
Fresh
it.
coat of paint.
Yeah. But people are loving it.
Yeah.
People are loving it. So.
Well, damn, I was gonna say that it doesn't really add up what PlayStation's doing with numbers of software, but fucking the Switch is 3-4 times as many units sold already. It's been out longer. Wow. So the PlayStation 5 has sold around 45.4 million units as of its most recent measuring period, which was December 1st of 2023. And since the Switch has been out, remember, I feel like the Switch was this generation. The Switch is last generation.
The Nintendo Switch was March 2017 during the time of PS4 in the middle of PS4 and Xbox.
And the Xbox One.
Right.
Yeah. So it's already been out, and they got over 131 million units sold. So that makes perfect sense. Perfect sense.
That's because there's a lot of kids like those. Like a lot of younger kids love the Switches, man. Portable, you could take them anywhere. You could take them on the road. You know.
I know, man.
It's amazing. I mean, if you could take your Xbox 360, let's say on the road, how much would that hold? You know. What you say?
That's why I bought the
Xbox
Ally.
One or yeah. Well, but I'm saying before that, though, like if Xbox 360 had a portable like the Switch,
yeah,
that thing would have sold like hotcakes too. Yeah. No Red Ring of Death on the portable.
That we know of.
No, we know. Well, we don't never know because they don't have one. So
now we got stick drift is what we got on the Switch.
Hey.
PlayStation, Xbox has stick drift. I've gone through plenty of controllers, so stick drift is real. So
yeah,
it sucks.
well maybe the Xbox controllers won't have stick drift if you take away that whole AA batteries thing and just kind of get with the times. Shots fired.
Yeah, that's like saying, let's see when PlayStation 5 gets Bluetooth headphones to fire a dongle. Same thing. Get with the times.
I don't know, man. Those ones that you just bought don't have a dongle, do they?
I haven't got them yet, so I don't. They come with a dongle. The new what's it called? The 3 something. What's it called? The PlayStation something 3. I forgot what they call the headphones.
I don't know.
They do have a dongle.
ViceCityGamerz before Christmas was an Xbox podcast. One day changed everything, and now it's straight Sony, though. PlayStation.
No. I'm still rocking my green, man. You know me.
It was blue during the warm up there, man.
Well, you gotta be snitching on me.
Yeah.
No.
So all of this Xbox slander this episode.
I know. Freaking out.
I feel like that's gonna go up in the title, bro.
I'm gonna get Jay a shirt with an Xbox logo that's crossed out, kind of like the Ghostbusters thing, the circle with the go down the middle, because he's so anti Xbox. He even sold his S series. You know that?
I don't need it. All I do is $10 a month. Play PC or Game Pass on PC, and you're good.
Yeah.
That's what Phil Spencer wants, anyways.
Yeah.
Just wants my membership. He doesn't care about the console. So
we'll see. I think it's funny you bring that up. It's something that I was thinking about with all of this, the leaks and the consoles, that the new Xbox that's coming out is gonna be more powerful than the PlayStation Pro, but it's not gonna be as powerful as it should be, considering as a next generation leap. I mean, I don't know where I was reading this. I can't tell you the source. But Destin Legary commented on it. So we're going to find out when they do release that next Xbox what direction they're really going, in my opinion. Because if they're going to cater, if they're going to cater to like, cloud gaming and not as much as, just the raw power of the actual console, we'll see what direction they're going.
I think once they figure out stability for cloud gaming, all these systems are all going to go that way. There will be no longer no physical copies of anything. I think companies like GameStop will be out of luck, because unless you're going to just sell digital copies of things in the stores. Yeah.
Hopefully
and GameStop can't survive on Nintendo. Yeah, the Mig. Yeah.
Yo, when I worked at Best Buy over, what was it? I don't know, 12 years ago now. The feeling was that people would come in to buy a game, and they'll give us their USB, and we'll put the game on their USB, like because we're going digital, right?
No. Yeah.
And It still hasn't happened. So
That's too much of a hassle considering you can just do it from home.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, GameStop should be shit out of luck unless they change something. But we'll see. Honestly, it's gonna be interesting which route we like the future holds.
You know what else has changed this physical game thing too? I think not having stores like say Blockbuster, who used to rent out video games. That has changed the game a lot too, because now those physical copies that were being sold to like this big video stores, they no longer do that anymore. So that's the revenue that they've lost as well.
I think GameFly still exists.
Really, man, I haven't seen a GameFly commercial in years.
Yeah, GameFly is actually a good place to buy used games because after a while, after they've had them out for a while and everything, they put them up on their website to sell, and you can get them for good prices. Obviously, if you're talking about a disc game, you would hope that it's in good condition, but well, same thing with the Nintendo Switch, right? If people are roughing it, sticking it in and stuff, they could be damaging it too. But for the most part, I've heard positive things about people buying used from them. So, but yeah, once physical's out the window, they're gonna have control. Just like right now, you're watching Netflix and there's a certain show on there, and you could only watch it there on Netflix. You can't buy the DVDs. You can't do anything like that. As long as you have the membership, you have it. And then eventually, over time, the contracts run out, and that show won't be on Netflix. And if nobody else picks it up, then it's gone, like it never happened.
Yeah,
just in your memories.
I can't tell you the last time I went and bought a movie. It must have been a couple of years now since a couple of years. Last movie I bought was Sonic 2, because my son watched it over and over and over. But I haven't bought a movie in forever, man, because everything's on, streaming.
I like
stream everything.
Movies.
During COVID, you were streaming everything. Like everything, you couldn't go to the theater, so you were streaming all the movies, right? But now, that's the business now. That's the business now.
Yeah, this year I wanted to watch a Christmas movie. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Die Hard. And I tried to look everywhere, and I had to pay $3 here, $5 there, $6 there. It wasn't on any of the streaming services, so I had to go bust out my DVD. I don't know if you heard about this, the disc. I stuck it in my PlayStation, and then I got to watch Die Hard.
You watch it on your PlayStation
Christmas
2?
movies ever.
You watch it on your PlayStation 2?
No, I got a PS5.
Oh.
I really want to see where they go. I really think that they should call me, you know what I'm saying? So I can, pitch my little console there, my ultimate console. And I think there'll be a console for everybody. And GameFly would be a great for that chip that you were talking about, no? You can rent the games and literally save them on your chip.
There'll be some repercussions. Nintendo doesn't take this stuff lightly.
GameFly is making their money. It's just Nintendo's losing their money.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Nintendo doesn't like to lose money.
You can grab it, copy, send it back. Grab another one, copy, send it back. I think they got plans that you can get like 2 or 3 games at one time. So
it takes me back to the Blockbuster days where you would rent a game, bring it home, pop it into the computer.
Beat that shit in
and then
4 hours,
return the game and have a nice little copy with you. Allegedly, statute of limitations has passed.
That's what all those bootleggers were doing with movies. They go rent a movie, copy it, make 20, 30 copies, go sell them for $5 a pop. At a gas station.
There's a bunch of snitching on this concept. Fucking episode, bro. Snitching on yourselves. Insider info.
Well, no. That was never me. That was never me. I was never tech savvy enough to burn movies and sell them.
Let me get some names. Spoiler alert.
There's a guy named Jay and Kool-Aid.
I never made any money off of any of these companies. I never sold a thing. So
no, I don't like pirating stuff.
No, man, but I was young at the time, so I didn't really know what was going on. But when the Dreamcast came out, I think it was my mother's boyfriend at the time. He made me a copy of every fucking game that came out. I had a binder just stacked of like CDs of every single
You guys
game
took
that
them out
came
of it.
out for the Switch. And I guess I was part of the reason one of my favorite consoles of all time died.
The Dreamcast was actually one console. I think it's the only one that had this issue where you were able to burn the disc and play it, and you didn't have to modify the system in any way. So they were able to, for the Sega Saturn, PlayStation 1, those were the disc-based consoles coming out around that time. For each of them, you needed the mod chip that would tell the system, hey, this is a legit disc. But for the Dreamcast, apparently there was a way that you could burn the discs and add a certain file that bypassed that, so you didn't even have to do that. So I don't know if that had to do with why they ended early, but I know Sega had trouble with the Sega Saturn as well, and when you're trying to make up for mistakes of the past, I don't know. I actually haven't researched why Dreamcast died out.
Yeah, GD-ROM
I
was
was
the
saying,
format, and if I remember, PlayStation 2 went to the DVD. It's a little harder to, it's pretty much like the way that I heard it a few years ago was that it's like Android, like an open format. You don't have any barriers to do what you got to do. And DVD, you couldn't really just copy like that at the time. With, I don't know, whatever encryption, I don't know. I'm not a tech
well,
guy.
it's like the video I sent you earlier with that little device that used to insert floppy disk to burn Nintendo 64 games onto this little drive. Remember that?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I think it was the Super
wild.
Nintendo, right? Or was it
Yeah,
N64?
No,
Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I had never seen that before. So the huge device plugs into the top of your Super Nintendo into the port where the video game connects, and then it has a floppy disk drive where you would stick in a floppy disk. If you don't know what a floppy disk is, Google it. And you'd basically dump your Super Nintendo game onto the floppy, and then you'd have a collection of all these games, and you'd play them right through the device. I'm blown away that I had never seen that before, because I'm pretty savvy with my retro gaming history, and I had never seen that before. So it's pretty cool.
Never.
It's called a Game 7 something. Game Dr. 7, that's what it's called. A Game Dr. 7. And you basically put it on top of your Nintendo 64. You plug in the game on top. You put a floppy disk in the floppy disk drive, and you burn it on your floppy disk, and then you can return that game and play the whole game through that floppy disk. It's crazy.
Wild. I had no idea.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap it up and leave it right here. Thanks for joining us throughout this little journey we've had in 2023. VCG, Vice City Gamers, started just a few months ago. We're kind of getting our bearings, still learning things, still trying to fix squeaky chairs and stuff like that. So that'll pop up on our audio, but, we're working on it, and there's going to be some exciting stuff to look forward to in 2024 as we kind of expand our horizons a little bit and get a little better with what we're doing and everything like that. And I'm sure the steady flow of gaming news is going to keep coming. And if not, I'm going to have some retro stuff to plug in there for y'all. But if there's anything that you want us to talk about, anything you want us to expand upon further, go ahead, hit us up in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, hit that subscribe button. It's a free way to support us and to let us know that you like what we're doing so we can keep on doing it.
Yeah.
So, guys, it's been an awesome 2023.
Yes, sir. Can't wait for next year.
We're going to keep on trucking into 2024.
Next year's going to be a great year in gaming as well, so let's get ready, boys. And shout out to the hot dog cart, just in case you forget.
I was going to remind you. FF7 2024, baby.
Peace. Happy New Year.
All right. Peace out, everybody. Happy New Year.